coming at you from the top. Oh no, no, he won't stop. Thalmor Radio, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thalmor Radio.
Thalmor Radio.
So it is becoming.
It's Friday.
No, Greta, it is not Friday. It is Tuesday, and this is not a regular episode of Thalmor Radio. This is a bonus episode. I thought about doing one Sunday, because that's when all these wars started. And I didn't because I was tired from church. I thought about doing one yesterday, but I got lazy. And then I decided, well, let me do a poll. Let me see if people are interested. So I did a poll, and yeah, people were interested in this. And I can tell that they are because we have a full crowd tonight. So that's good. So I will talk about this war. No itinerary, but that's okay. I don't need one. So first off, I want to say that a lot of what I say tonight, I'm probably going to repeat on Friday. So just be aware of that going into this. Now, second, it has become a regular occurrence now in my life that I will go to church for a nice service, and then I will come out of church to some kind of fire going on in the game. So I remember I was at church, I think it was for an Easter play practice back in 2017. And I came out of church, and no, it was 2018 because I think Islamic Crusade happened. And so me and all of KT, we got hit by all of these people who had no ground but full planes. It was very weird. But it was very interesting to see. And my church doesn't have service. It's a big metal building, right? So like if you're in the parking lot or inside the building, like forget it. Unless you're connected to Wi-Fi, your access to the outside world is just gone. So, you know, I came out of church and I've been preoccupied for hours before. I get in the car and I'm going down the road and I'm checking my phone and then, there's 7 pings on Discord because, blah, 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 blah. And so a similar thing happened this past Sunday because church was over with. My family likes to stay for a while and talk to people. I do the same. I finally got the Wi-Fi password after several years, like last year. And so I checked Discord, and hey, what do you know? TSTKR has hit Swamp, which is cool. That's great. It was over the leaks. They were shit-talking the order, and they wanted to 1v1 the order, and I guess this got interpreted as like as a coming threat. So they attacked over it. Am I right? Is that why they attacked? What is Swamp CV? Just plotters die? TLE wanted to hit Oasis too. Yeah, that's from the leaks. Aurora and TO. Okay. Yeah, very funny. Duluth, I've been to church. It's just that I've been going to church for several years now, and I never got the Wi-Fi password. But now, since last year, I finally do have it. I thought Oasis was going to blitz. I thought I was going to head in that direction too. I didn't expect TSTKR to fire the first shot, but they did, and that's fine. So they've been going at it. Now, I have not been following the action closely. I was aware that they left Fark alone. They hit Fark, I think, was it yesterday or today? They waited a day before they hit Fark. And then the most recent development has been with Hedge and Rose and Delta. Now, Delta is a new block, very new. It's comprised of some alliances that left Oasis along with some other people, I believe. And I think Rose and maybe Oblivion were like spying them. And so Delta hit Oblivion, Children of the Light countered, and now it's kind of escalated to like a full-blown situation. So that's pretty interesting. Vero says Fark is so incompetent we didn't even include them in the first blitz. That makes complete sense. The smart thing to do would have been the smart thing for Fark to do would have been to use their availability to counter as hard as possible, but as far as I know, they didn't. They just did nothing. So that's pretty cool. So I guess Swamp now is just dead because everyone left Swamp, or everyone except the Federation was leaving Swamp. They were trying to get away from the Lost Empire. Very funny how when the Fighting Pacifists and the Immortals was holding that whole block together, they were happy to kick them. But now that the Lost Empire is genuinely awful and blew up the whole thing, well, they're just going to leave Swamp. They're not going to kick the Lost Empire out. So that's kind of weird. I don't know about that, but oh well, I guess.
So what's
But
kind of funny though is I actually ended up warning them that they were going to get hit anyway, and they didn't actually take action.
yeah, I mean that's Swamp. So
Yeah, as I was like, Quack's going to kill you regardless if you disband or not, and they're going to go after everyone. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll figure it out. And it's like, well, you didn't, so there you go.
yeah, so now they get to burn together, pretty based to attack all of Swamp, including the people who wanted to leave. Make the people who are unhappy with each other have to work together. That's pretty funny. When Shifty, there's a lot of. Well, I can hear myself over you. Can you put yourself on push to talk?
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's fine. So I believe Adam loosely has announced that TSTKR will break up. Their declaration of war is called The Last Ride. I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen. I don't until someone from TSTKR outright comes out and says, with authority, someone in Gov says yes, we're breaking up. I'm not even sure if that's being interpreted properly. Now, not even that, like it will be a fake split, because I've seen people say that TSTKR is going to have a fake split. Not even that. I just mean I don't even know if Adam is actually being fully serious when he says there's going to be a split. So until something like that happens, Adam says they're breaking up. Can you show me? Can you show me this? We came out and confirmed. Okay, thank you. Wizzle has said we came out and confirmed. Wizzle is Gov somewhere in TSTKR. I know that he is because he's been on Morph show as a TSTKR representative. So okay, there we go. Vice says he's TKR. Okay, I think that's right. Lati says Blett, it was public. I know Adam said this, but again, I don't feel like he came out and said it as clearly as he could have. So that's why I'm like, eh. But okay, so apparently they're going to split up. I talked about before about how I don't know the solution to the political conflict because on one hand, TSTKR sees essentially the rest of the game as being against them, allied against them, and the rest of the game, their response is, well, you guys are too big, we kind of have to be. And I didn't know how to fix that problem. And so I guess TSTKR are going to try to fix the problem. They're going to split up like everyone else wants. So I'm very curious to see what happens after that. So that'll be interesting. Yeah. So the other thing to talk about would be something that's happened. Well, I already touched about it briefly, but I'll talk about it a bit more. Hedge is fighting Delta, and what started the beef there? I think some people were spying Delta people. What was that about? Were they just being assholes? What happened there? Delta has never had spies, ever. Delta, please leave Hedge alone. Delta hit the Immortals. I don't know. It kind of looks like to me. Kaz was talking to me about this, and it looks that way to me too. It looks like the big guys are picking on the little guys to me. So yeah, I think. No, it was Delta attacked Oblivion because Oblivion, I think, was spying them, and Children of the Light countered the attacks on Oblivion. And so now all of Hedge got punched by Delta, I think. Isn't Error 4 the hotel just being defensive? But I think it's okay. Hedge preempted. Okay. Rebel, we're only big because half our block is useless this war. Hedge hit first, though. Okay, yeah. Well, even chat is like kind of split on this. So I don't know what to make of it. Like I said, I don't know. It's a whole mess. I mean, it's time for the global war. That's all there is to it. Okay, we've had the 6 months. Okay, we've had our peace. Now it's time to use the pressure valve and for everyone to blow their load, and that's what's going on. So there you go. We've had 6 months to build war chests and cities and to pay off loans and to lose money gambling in Kino. Now it's time to actually dust off the war mechanics and use them against each other again. So that's nice. So there you go. Monty said Oblivion raided Delta. Delta declared war on Oblivion. Hedge Money countered those wars. Delta did a shitty blitz 2 times. Hedge Money countered that blitz. Well, I think damages are about even. I think both sides have done about 5 billion to each other, which is pretty decent actually. Speaking of damages, I think it was... Yeah, it's the war between TSTKR and Swamp. I think that's already done over 100 billion in damages so far, so that's pretty cool. Trying to think what else there is. So there you go. That's what's going on. Tyrion says Delta is doing really well. I don't know if they're doing well or if there's just a lot of, or if Hedge just has a lot more to lose because Deltas are like, I perceive Delta as being smaller people, but I haven't looked, so I don't know. But I think, but damages are even because that's one thing Kaz pointed out to me. And so we'll see how things go. I have seen people say that TSTKR have been doing a bad job in the war against Swamp, but I haven't looked, so I don't know. So the people saying this could just be wrong. I haven't looked. I don't care enough to look, but that's what people have been saying. Vice says Quack is holding back. That could be it. You know, I don't think TSTKR need to go balls out to handle some wet dirt. So there you go. So yeah, that's that. Firewolf is linking me to something. Okay, he's linking me to a few forum stuff. That's fine. So that's what's been going on. It's wartime. So far, Rose hasn't done anything, and Oasis hasn't done anything. And KT is not doing anything. We're still just raiding. We're raiding people. You know, I'm hitting Jaguar. This Jaguar guy, he's a Rose member. He used to be a member of Terminus S, I believe. In fact, actually, I think he might have been even in KT at one point. But he was inactive. Go on.
Yeah, he's a Serbian dude, I believe, or whatever. And like he was in BK. He got kicked out of BK for being a pixel hugger. Then he went to Sparta and was, part of their hypereconomic guild builds and pixel hugging. Then he joined Test with the Sparta Test merger, and then he went to Rose, and he was also in Hogwarts. And essentially, he's been continuously going in and out of activity. But he's one of those whales or pixel huggers, essentially, that Rose loves to protect, like Ace. If you guys know who Ace is, that's that guy that builds up to like 5,000 infra, had a bunch of cities, and then just goes beige or goes gray, then beige from all the raiders or whatever. He's like easy pickings. Basically that's he's part of that group. He's part of the Rose inactives that you can loot for free stuff, and then you'll get countered, but you'll end up making more than you lose.
Yeah, so I targeted Jaguar because he went inactive starting... He last logged in April 18th, so he had been gone for like 2 weeks. So I raided him, and this motherfucker logs in hours after I hit him. And so he's been inactive for another 24 hours. I think I can beige him either with naval strikes or nukes. I got the City 40 guy who just joined KT helping me. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can beige him. I beiged this Commonwealth guy named Isor. He's the single member of Wigglypuff Guild or Wiggly Guild, whatever it's called. I beiged him and took like 50 million bucks plus resources, so that was cool. So we'll see how things work out. Wigglytuff. Okay. Wigglytuff. Get your Pokemon right. You know what, Lemon? You should go to Lavender Town or whatever the name of the cursed Pokemon town is.
Oh yeah, that's Lavender Town. There was actually also a Cybernations alliance.
Really?
Yep.
I was reading creepypastas last night, so that's what's got me thinking of Lavender Town. All right, so Nokia wanted to talk. What's up, Nokia? What you got to say?
I just wanted to say that Swamp claiming to be essentially like KT 2.0 was the best time I've had in this game since 2019. That was the hardest I have laughed, the hardest I've had to think about anything and contemplate what was going through their mind.
Yeah, that was funny.
Also,
I
I
also
heard.
like. Go on.
Sorry, I also heard that Quack was splitting up supposedly, and I was wondering if you heard anything about that.
Just that Adam implied it heavily without outright saying it in the declaration of war and later on in the thread. That's all I've known about it.
All right. I was kind of wondering if everything was breaking up, where the heck is Fark gonna go?
They're probably going to go to COA, or they're going to try to beg Oasis to take them in.
Oh, and Nokia
if any-
Wizzle, who is Gov and TKR, also has confirmed tonight that they are indeed breaking up.
All right, that's cool.
If anything, what do you call it? Ampersand is probably going to go to Hedge. If I have to guess, it's probably going to be then. Fark is probably going to end up again. COA, Polaris, though them getting attacked by Alpha, I don't know. Maybe Alpha won't want them around. And then, yeah. Oh, if you guys know about it disbanding, like Mayor right now, everybody's saying that they're going to disband. I mean, that means I finally did completely keep with my 2017 promise of forcing them to disband. But yeah, like I said, that was the funniest thing though, because I remember TLE when they jumped on KT after the Alpha Crusade and were like, "Oh, we're gonna pin them down because you guys hit one TCW guy." The funniest thing about them, I forgot who I was talking to, but it was just like in a passing chat, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna pin you down and we're gonna get rid of you. We're gonna end KT," and I'm like, "No, I'm gonna end you guys," and they're like, "Yeah, go ahead," and like, let's see you do that, and behold, Shifty has kept his promise.
Oh,
Remember,
no.
right?
TLE government is. Sorry, go ahead.
You need to watch out for Shifty. He might leak your block gov chats. He might disband you. Who knows what he'll do?
Didn't they say that because Sphinx wasn't there, they didn't have to worry about leaks?
Yes, that was my personal favorite moment. I did not stop laughing, and I remember I told a few of the guys in KT, I'm like, guys, I'm about to do something quite amazing, and they're like, come on, when are you gonna post it? And I was like, all right, hold on, I'm gonna go have breakfast. Came back, and then I read that line, and I just started laughing, and I was like, 30 minutes later, I remembered, oh yeah, I have to actually go back and post this. It was really funny. It got me distracted for a while. I was like, holy shit, that is great. Like, this is, I knew that as soon as I read the whole thing, I was like, this is going to be gold.
I was half asleep when I saw the post, and I woke up later and reread it and saw that line and just bursted out laughing for like 20 minutes. Like, it was the funniest thing ever. Like, what do you mean?
Well,
You're gonna
my
regret
thing is,
ever saying that.
my thing is that it was just so much perfect timing on this, because it happened all within that amount of time. Like, you know, sometimes when I do leaks or I plot against somebody, it'll take a few months, maybe even a year for me to get back at them. But this one just happened so quickly. It was fun. It was funny. It was great, actually. It was like, wow, thank you.
I wish my alliance was participating in this war. I really wanted to go raid Fark. Just because they're the epic, like, they're the stat pat dream. It's Fark. They just rebuild every war, mid-war.
Fark and Alpha and Polaris, to me, they're just like NPC alliances now. They're just like, can I raid this guy before he like the AI kicks in and he logs in and stops me? So going back to the leaks from Swamp, what was Pankey's motivation to leak exactly? He's a listener of the show, but he's not on right now. So I can ask. Well, actually, hold on. I can probably ping him.
Basically, he told me his motivation, and he didn't actually want to leak, but of course, Shifty has his ways. Essentially, what he had said was that he was angry that TLE was too uptight, and he didn't like his allies saying that they were also uptight. And basically, he said he had friends in the alliance in TLE that he actually liked. For the majority of it, he thought that everybody kind of had a giant stick up their ass. And I do have those logs as well. He doesn't care. He actually thinks it's kind of funny. He apologized to only certain people he actually liked. He actually had a whole letter that I told him, dude, we're not going to post the letter. The letter makes it look like you're committing suicide. You're not committing suicide. The only person dying today is Swamp. So, don't do that. No one's going to want to touch this if you do that. And that's why I told him, you post it, everybody's going to be like, oh, God, we don't want to deal with that. I post it, it's like, oh, hell yeah, let's do this shit. And lo and behold, there you go. Everybody's like, let's roll. So,
Can I just say I'm proud to be draining the swamp with everyone soon?
yeah, so basically he was like, I don't know. And then he was like, how the fuck did you find out that I left within like 5 minutes of me leaving? And I'm like, because I know where to feed off of hunger for drama and shit, I tried to harass another guy today from Atlas, but he didn't budge. He just got scared. But yeah, if your government members leave, do know that I will be coming after them. And if you happen to have any sort of issues with your current alliance or anything, I will leak them. Then no one is safe from leaks, and I will definitely, post relevant info if I have relevant info to make things worse.
The only way to be safe is to just don't get on Shifty's bad side. Also, Artik, unmute Pankey. He's here.
How to get back at him? Basically,
So, what are we talking about?
That's Pankey. I brought it up a minute ago, but I figured because you're a listener at the show, why don't I ask you? So thank you for coming on. What was your motivation for leaking Swamp's block chat stuff?
The block
move.
Yeah, the block itself, I was just adding. If I was gonna do anything, I was not only gonna leak TLE things. So I was just adding fire. I mean, you have to do that if you're gonna actually leak something. I didn't want to just leak stuff that was to break up Swamp. I wanted a global war. I mean, actually, but in the end, when it started, the global war was not even I fully expected Oasis to hit Swamp, not Quack, at all. Didn't expect Quack to I'm gonna be honest. They were way more set on hitting Oasis, 10 times more. No. TL insulted Oasis 10 times more than. I don't know if that was shown in the leaks. I didn't send Shifty every single leak because there were too many, and it was basically the same thing over and over. But it was almost all Aurora things, way more than ATO and Carthago thing was, to be honest, a little bit more of a one-time thing. So mostly was between Aurora and TO, but Shifty came to me 5 minutes after I left the Alliance. I just want to point that out. 5 minutes after I left the Alliance, he was on my DMs asking for leaks. I mean, he's fast. He's fucking fast.
Hey man, you can't outshift the Shifty.
My motivation itself for leaking was I was fucking pissed and tired of TLD leadership.
Wait, is this being recorded? Because I was going to mention something quite funny.
Yes, it is.
Fuck it. Who cares? YOLO. So, the main thing to answer, why did Oasis not hit Swamp? Basically, I already knew Oasis, for the most part, as the joke goes. Oasis only jumps in dog piles. They only fight if they're ready to go. But from the most part, what I did read from the DMs and from people I had been talking to is that Oasis didn't necessarily want to kill Swamp because there were half of the people there they did not like, but it was more like a go fist yourself, not go die and fall off a cliff. So it was more like we just want to see Swamp go away, but we don't really care or whatever. Quack though is still resentful that they got dogpiled, and they're looking
I mean, to be
to
honest,
have
Quack did not throw a dog pile.
So basically, let me see how many Quack viewers are here.
To be honest, Quack right now has less numbers fighting than Swamp, by far.
Okay, so I'll tell you guys this. Actually, yes, I am actually in my car right now, and yes, I do have a Thunderbird in the same style, just mine's navy blue. And that's the base one. I have the one what is it, 2 levels up. But anyway, that being said, I did in a way bait Quack. If I must say, some people like to wait until the war is completely over and admit it 6, 5, 10, 20 months later. I actually never got paid by TLE to attack OWR. In fact,
Yeah, I don't know why that spread around. I don't know why that spread around that the TLE paid KT to hit people.
so basically the reason why I did it was because I knew Quack would want to kill them. There was already enough there to start a war, but Quack would take the bait first, and they just needed a CB.
I mean,
They were going to be more aggressive, and TLE's reputation at that point is so far down the gutter for attacking so many alliances verbally, plus their own allies don't like them, and it's just so much drama that really, at this point, they're already off the cliff. What's a little bit of, chipping away at the edge so they just fall off immediately. So someone was going to kill them anyway. I just made sure that Quack killed them and kind of gave Quack a nice
I
victory.
mean, yeah, I guess you used the OWR thing. I forgot about that. That's why the rumor spread out.
Ask me for me not to show that it was.
But he fucked it. He fucked it either way. Shifty
It was
fucked
fine,
it
and then he started
either way.
doing, the whole. I ended up doing it. Yeah, it's me all along. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, sure. I mean, I know Tilde is gonna know extremely fast that it's gonna be me. Like, I don't know if. Well, I probably would. I probably should. At the end, I probably like. I should have actually done it myself. I don't know, more fame. Now a lot of people think Shifty's the main leaker, and I was like, give me some of that fame, boy.
Well, that's the thing. You wouldn't have thought of the whole OWR thing, and I did technically attack OWR, knowing that something would happen soon. And my whole plot to attack OWR was to say, "Oh, KT got paid to do this," and I knew that it was a good place to be because my nation has like no infra. I had enough money to buy C-32, and most people will not go ahead and go, oh, well, you know what? I did notice he did receive it from the KT offshore to buy C-32. Most people are just going to say, oh my God, he bought C-32. He just said he got paid. Oh my God, Zval, is going to take the bait. And I knew that attacking OWR or a lesser alliance, it's not really the same caliber as the Syndicate, as TKR, as, even Rose or whatever, or some of the hedge ones like Guardian. They're not really going to look into it. They're just going to take the bait and say, wow, we got attacked. These guys are an enemy. Me hit back. So
I want to ask a question to other leaders here. Had TLE had an immense amount of OPSEC, is that actually normal? I think they had a little bit too much.
No, it's normal to have a lot of OPSEC. It's just the main thing is that
that much shit talk. I mean,
if you want to shit talk, it's normal. When I was in BK, there was a lot of shit talking, but you never shit talk your own allies. If you have a concern, there's a way to word it. True. And if you really need to shit talk and it's gonna be something super essential, do what Camelot does and go on VC. Go on VC. And the thing is, in general, you should trust your government members enough that you don't necessarily have to cross the OOC line to the point where they're having fucking turkey dinner with your family and like baptizing your Greek Orthodox cousin, and dunking them in like a fucking donut or something like that. But it should be enough that you're okay to VC with them, that they know your real voice, where you live in terms of the state or city, and that, hey,
okay, I doxed myself way too much in TLD. Like, they know Okay, mostly Lemon, who is currently in Carthago, knows most about
Oh,
me.
just be careful with Epi though, because Epi records
Epi-
voice chats, so that's another one that's pretty nice.
Doesn't.
Yeah.
No, not in voice chat, but I've sent. They don't know where I live, what city I live. I've sent pictures, a lot of pictures of my faces. I've leaked my name by accident.
I'm guessing you're from Eastern Europe.
No, I'm from Panama, Central America.
Oh, no me toques mis cacahuates.
¿Por qué cacahuates?
How do
No
you
me
say a
toques
caterpillar?
no me toques mis cojones o no me toques
Hey,
mis bolas.
I
Mr.
say cacahuates because it's
Salvadorian.
awkward.
So,
No, cacahuates is cashews.
No, it's peanuts.
No, it's cashews.
No,
It's
cacahuates.
cashews.
No,
Peanuts.
so you're both from
It's
different parts of
cashew.
Latin America.
that's marañones or is cashews.
No. Cacahuates? No, no, peanuts is.
No, because it's all okay, fine. If you just want to be general, you just say legumas or legumes.
Legumes. Peanuts is legumes. No,
No,
wait.
legumes is just general legumes
No,
or
espera.
legumes.
Peanuts. Okay, I'm a Spanish native speaker and I've Spanish like more of my life, but I know more fucking English vocabulary than Spanish. No,
Usas
Yeah.
dos o usas tú?
I think on what word means what, I'm going to take the native Panama guy over you, Shifty. No offense.
Wow.
No, cacahuates. Cacahuates.
Look it up.
Okay. Well, anyways, habla English. We're moving on. I wanted to get the strain
Okay,
back
but
on the.
does
on the
anybody have
rails.
any? Wait. Does anybody have any direct questions about what did I like? No, nothing more.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions for Pankey about the leaks? Do you have any more? Would be a good question for me.
I mean, Latsu, I released everything mostly, but like I just didn't want to release the same thing. It's probably like the same shit over and over. Who's next? Okay, Artik. If any alliance gives me high gup after this, I'd be. Are you retarded? I mean, I won't leak unless you piss me off to unincredible levels, which is what TLE High Gup did.
How did they piss you off so badly? What was going on
I
with
don't.
TL
It all
Gov?
started. It all started when Atlan stepped down. I'd say probably that I really started to get pissed off. Or actually maybe a little before, but he was getting inactive, kind of. Yeah, it's sick. I don't know why it says miseria. That's misery. It's like I was like, first off, it didn't start that bad, but like there's an incredibly different amount of. I mean, I kind of get why, but like inside High Gulf for a long time, there was incredibly amount of, how do you say, I think I won't say segregation because nothing had to do with the racism at all, but like some people were like he had favoritism. This is why this had immense favoritism to some members, to some people than other, and I fucking detested that. He just said immense fucking favoritism to another fucking level, and it pissed me off to huge levels. The leader doesn't do shit. Papa doesn't do shit at all. Anywhere. He doesn't do shit. He just asks for things and he just says people to do something if they're doing wrong. Like they said, like this is not like effective enough. We're not growing enough, and just says to someone that and just makes it go away like magic. It seems. Like I guess some leaders, I get that some leaders don't do much, but he doesn't do anything. I mean, anything, and pissing me off to immense levels. He just delays everybody's work. He
So
doesn't.
he doesn't do anything, but he always wants to be included in decision making, right? Is that what the deal
I mean,
is?
he's the leader. He's supposed to be like, but the only thing he doesn't do anything.
But you said not only does he not do anything, he slows things down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Simmons is an ass as well. I'm super glad he got exposed with a Mao thing. He isn't huge. He's the biggest ass in all of Orbis. Well, I think that's it. I have to go now because that's at 10 minutes. But here are most of your thoughts
Thank you.
answered.
Thank you so much for coming on, Panky. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, so that was Panky explaining his thoughts on what happened there with TLE and the leaks. So there you go. Yeah. I don't got much else to go off of right now. The leaks happened. Swamp blew up. Then they blew up even hard when TSTKR attacked them. Now there's some fighting between Delta and Hedge, and that's it for right now. Nothing else has happened. Going to be an interesting world once the dust settles and TSTKR split up. Rebel says DMs ignore. What? What do you mean by that? Rebel. Oh yeah, Partisan went into vacation mode for a year. So we'll see if he's actually gone or if he comes back or what happens there. I reckon he was frustrated with the state of politics for quite some time. So if you can find peace, that'll be good.
I just find it confusing because he was ready to do T-chess and then he just goes, you know what, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, first off, am I a robot? My thing says I'm orange. How do I sound?
No, you sound okay.
Okay. So I'm curious because for Adam to come out and say, oh, we're splitting once the war is over with, and now for Partisan to go into VM, makes me wonder if there was some kind of like collapse of morale. If it was like, oh, well, okay, we're just always going to be the enemy. So let's just stop being the enemy for a change. And Partisan just is fed up because it's been the same way for years. So we'll see what happens.
I think they don't want to be like IQ because really when you get to that point, there's only two options. You either do the war to finish all wars, aka IQ's last war, or you or you just do now what they're doing and they try to split up. But even when they tried to do the whole split sphere thing, Quack got really big really fast, and that kind of put a target on their back.
Well, and the Syndicate has done this before. I think it was after the Silent War back in 2016. You know, after kicking Rose's ass for 2 years, Rose and friends split up, and the Syndicate went paperless. So that was interesting. So the Syndicate has done something similar like that before, which the Syndicate's not going paperless, but canceling allies to try to change the dynamic. So we'll see how that goes, I guess.
What I feel interesting, I guess, about this year is that after IQ died, it feels like this year is like, well, last year was its own thing, but like this year, last year and this year feel like a reboot of the first few years of politics and war again, where like, you know, Rose is back to being sort of like, what the hell are they doing? You know, it looks like they're on sort of a declination period or whatever. Syndicate's going to break up again, but instead of this time it being a bad negative Obsidian Order split with BK going to IQ, I think this time TKR, the Syndicate, and BK will stay as just a 3-member block. And the little outliers or whatever are probably going to go do their own thing. So, I don't know. This one's going to be kind of interesting. Because I doubt BK signed a treaty with TKR just to split up within a month.
Yeah. By the way, Black Knights, I think, had an M level with both TKR and the Syndicate, but I think they canceled on one of them. What happened there? Was there some drama?
Wait, they just canceled now?
No, I thought Black Knights canceled with like TKR or something. Am I just completely wrong? Did I have a
No,
moment?
they're besties right now.
First one was a joke. Okay.
Yeah, no, they're MDOAP with the Syndicate and MDP with TKR, and they just signed TKR like maybe a few weeks ago. So I really doubt they would just cancel that out. I'm 100% sure they're going to try to be like a trio and just stay that way because BK's always been obsessed with having a trio group, not a block, not a giant bloated 5-person thing, nor having, you know, a super tied down sort of thing. They kind of just want to keep their thing to just 2 allies they can really trust. So I'm pretty sure they're going to stay that way. That being said, something like OWR, Carthago, Church of Adam, all those other, you know, great value off-brand Quack, they're going to probably do their own thing and kind of just be like their own other versions of Swamp, you know, because that's pretty much where some of these smaller alliances are going to end up, is just forming their own newer versions of Swamp. Or basically, I mean, Swamp was specific in that it was really bad. It was like the ones you didn't want at all. These guys are more like the budget bin that you'll take if you can get them for 2 for 1 or something like that. The other ones were just like, this is defective. This shouldn't even be on for sale.
Gotta say though, BK, TKR, and the Syndicate all being M-level allies, that is 2016 as fuck.
Yeah,
What's
that
up
was the
with
dream.
That's not how it's going to be, though. The split is between TKR TS. BK has not made a decision yet, so we don't know which way they're going to go. But
Well,
it's between TKR TS. That's the split.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, and even if BK, well, they probably actually can't. But if BK did keep both ties, but TS and TKR still went a separate way, I mean, I would still count that. I mean, I think BK can stay in the middle. I doubt. I would imagine leadership from TS or TKR would pressure them into picking one or the other. But
I think they know they need to pick. They just haven't made the decision, and we're not pressuring them to make the decision. We're letting them make it on their own. So.
Gotcha.
Because they're really good allies with both of us. So I know it's a tough decision for them. So we're just gonna let them make the decision, and either way, and we're still gonna be really good friends with them. So
It's like a Showtime special, like where they have to choose which twin survives and the other one has to get aborted.
it's like TKR has had a relationship with BK leadership for 5 years. So it goes back a long time.
Yeah, honestly, I think they probably choose TKR this time because last time they chose the Syndicate, and that's what led off all those events.
And obviously, that's what we want, and that's their decision to make. So.
You want them to go with the Syndicate?
Wow.
What was that?
Well, because
you want them to go with the Syndicate? Sorry, Shifty.
If they choose a syndicate, they choose a syndicate. We'll still be friends with them no matter what. So.
I just thought I heard you say that you wanted them to go with the Syndicate.
No. I said obviously we'd prefer them come with us, but that's their decision to make. So.
All right, my bad. Now, what was it, Shifty? You was trying to say something.
Well, if you know how the government members vote, Yoso prefers the Syndicate, but he also loves TKR. Strum will obviously choose TKR over Syndicate. Super Cheese, I believe he's friendly with both. I think he would probably choose the Syndicate. But again, it also depends on who their government lineup's going to be, because that always changes things. Because again, those are those alliances where a new leadership is like a new reign or whatever, a new edition of it. So it's not always liked or not always the greatest. That being said, yeah, I believe the rest of them. Yeah, most of them are the other ones who either followed Strum through into Silencio. At least people who would have government advisor perms or any sort of say. So I'm pretty sure they're probably going to go TKR because I think majority of them would go with that. I don't think they really even have too many of the Syndicate people. And in general, back in the day, the Syndicate was more of like, we're buddies, but we don't really socially interact like TKR does. I think TKR was better diplomatically in that sense, and that they became very good friends outside of just the politics with BK. So I think honestly, if I had to gamble, I would put